Good morning, Adrian Hayes. How are you?
Yeah, all good, Gary. Getting through it as best we can.
Where are you holding up? In Dublin?
Yeah, no, in Bray, beside the sunny seaside, and obviously with the great weather, we've been blessed. Really, we've been able to get out for walks and explore some places not too far away from yourself in Enniskerry.
But my parents would have gone to Bray as their summer holidays from Rathmines.
Yeah, and it's a busy spot and plenty of ice cream along the beach. And like, believe it or not, most days I'd try to go for a run along the beach, and I'd get in for a swim. I'd swim most days.
So there's a bit of steel there behind the man.
I don't know about that, or maybe a bit of craziness, but we all need that.
So that's interesting. So you work in Bray, you live in Bray. You're obviously a big part of what the company is in its many names, and yourself is a big part of Bray.
Yeah, well, I started off with AT&T way back, over 30 years ago at this stage. Straight out of school, after I did the Leaving Cert, and then I studied at night time while working as an operator in a very high transmission manufacturing facility which AT&T had in Bray. It's the first site really outside of the US. So that's where I started off. So then I studied at night, and moved into various different roles within the company. Some regional roles, some global roles, and now back to have an Irish role. So looking after the Irish now.
It's extraordinary that, because I obviously, some of the other people who work with Commscope are also there quite a long time. And not a lot of people know Commscope, the name. And when you think about it, it's because you wear AT&T, or you wear Systemax, or you wear so many other names during the journey. But effectively, Commscope is now like a very large conglomerate through acquisitions and organic growth, really, isn't it?
Yeah, and that's correct, and it continues to evolve. Even since Commscope acquired Systemax in 2004, it's been various different evolutions through the acquisition of Andrew for Tyco BNS, and most recently the Aris company, which includes a lot of Ruckus networking products, for the data communication environment, that we're supporting. So it's that link only that link within the data center, within the building, and within the outside and macro environment as well. So most people will use a Commscope solution in one way or the other every day. It's the stuff that's behind the network to enable it to work.
Yeah, we often talk about the spark plug. The guy who buys his Mercedes, it's beautiful, and he buys it for the smell of the leather, or the feel of the steering wheel. But take the spark plug out, it's not going very far.
Yeah.
So you obviously have a family.
Yeah, I've two lads. Yeah.
In lockdown. So how's it all been? Are they 18 and 20 odd?
18 and 20, yeah. So Cormac is his first year in college, so he's busy doing his project work. So he's coming forward to the end of his project work, which is difficult as well in the current environment. But because of the platforms that we're using and they're using from an education perspective, he's able to get through. And he just submitted his last assignment there last week, so he's doing creative music production. Right. So, which is really interesting, and the stuff that he's doing is really good. Yeah, so it's he's following his passion.
What's he studying?
Creative music production, through IDT.
Okay, and that's just there in Dún Laoghaire, isn't it? The IA.
In Dún Laoghaire, yeah. And they're linked with STC in Temple Bar.
Music production. Yeah. That wasn't even invented when we were kids, was it?
I know.
Fabulous. And the other lad, he's at a different stage, isn't he?
He's at the Leaving Cert, so he's in the middle of all the challenge that's going on. So it's been quite upsetting, but they're getting through it as best they can. So with their online grinds and study platform, but studying is challenging in this current environment. Even their summer holiday, and where himself and his pals had already booked to head off to Spain to celebrate the ending of the leaving cert. So I think that's all knocked on the head. So unfortunately, but a good time to come back for them.
Magaluf isn't going to be the same over Zoom.
No, it's not. No, and Magaluf before the leaving cert doesn't have the same the same rhyme. The leaving cert. So we wait and see. But
you're still smiling. So whether it's just for the camera or whether it's genuine, I think from speaking off air, you mentioned that you spent a lot of time with the lads and probably your partner or whoever as well as the dog. And these are creating memories out of a very difficult circumstance, right?
Absolutely, and bonding and getting closer, particularly to teenagers, is great, and getting to understand them a little bit more, their challenges, and trying to help them as well, and making precious memories, in these current challenges, and like doing things and going out and exploring, so which is good for two lads.
I took the opportunity of teaching my 17-year-old how to drive, and it's an ideal time to navigate roundabouts when you're with somebody who just about knows what a clutch is and a brake. So again, that'll be a memory if people survive it.
Yeah, and it's like we decided, when I was a kid, we used to go fishing in a place called the Dargo Valley, which very well. So I wouldn't have been there for 30 years. So I knew an old entrance off the old Summerhill Road up in Enniskerry. So we drove up there. We filled the bag with a few rolls and some bags of Tato and a few drinks, and we went off and we went exploring, which is amazing. Down to the bed of the Dargo River and meandered away all the way all the way up along the banks. Just it was amazing. But that's it. It's a time. It's a special time. It's something that I never thought that we would go through. As long as I'm living, I've never gone through it. And we never went through it in our lifetime.
Yeah.
Parents never went through it, and so how they are adapting to that has just been phenomenal. Really, they're just getting on with it, and I think maybe that's a message to us all. Just get on with it. Try to help out with each other. Be kind and just get on with it.
I certainly hope by the end of it, I know 4 chords of my guitar. Before it started, I knew 1, so I'm on to 2. But that's not.
I should have brought mine, Gary. We could have had a sing song.
You know more than 2 chords.
Well, I know all the lyrics of Tom Dooley, by the way.
Oh, fantastic! That's wonderful. So we'll get back to that one if you don't mind. Have you learned anything about yourself?
Yeah, well, probably the biggest thing that I've learned is that I'm not going to be a painter. So painting is not going to be my forte. Definitely not. So that's what I've learned about myself.
Painting walls or art?
Walls, yeah, painting walls.
We coined a phrase. Luckily enough, and we're all possibly now the generation. There's a man better at that than I am.
Yeah, exactly.
Or a woman.
That's what I've learned. I've learned what I'm good at, and I've learned what I'm not good at, and that's definitely it.
Have you surprised yourself?
I think just really trying to have a balance. Believe it or not, I'm so busy, and as a company, our company has been so busy. So trying to ensure that we've got that balance in place, particularly with the family and the environment that we're going through, and trying to, in some cases act like a juggler in circus and trying to juggle a lot of things. That probably has been the biggest surprise for me, that we're able to get on with a lot of things from a home life perspective and from a work life perspective as well as getting out and ensuring that we're fit and we're healthy and we're looking after ourselves mentally and physically.
My wife mentioned to me, it's sort of a joke, sort of not, you're getting more of an appreciation for what it's like being a homemaker now, with all the
Yeah,
juggling. And
exactly.
it's
Yeah,
true. There's so much goes on that you don't see. And
yeah,
just want to get back to one point you made. And you said, and I know over the past week in communication as well, that you're so busy. What interests me about Commscope and about you in Commscope is it's not all busy, keeping the digital front line running. You're a very big part of the Bray, Cork, and Belfast communities. You're doing a lot of stuff in the community to help the communities in the best way you can. Are you in a position to talk about some of that? Because that comes out a lot when I talk to you about, oh, hold on, I have to do this because we're doing stuff for the community. That's great, isn't it?
and I'd say we are privileged. We're still at work, where a lot aren't. So I think we recognize that, and we really appreciate that. So we take nothing for granted, and I think where we can help back, that's invite something back. That's what we're trying to do
Mm.
at a national level, at a global level within the company, but more importantly for us at a local level, supporting some of the nursing homes. We're supporting because we are on site. We're manufacturing in Ireland. We do have a lot of PPE gear for our facilities, so we've been able to provide some of that PPE to some of the frontline staff directly, through the correct authorities. Also, we've been able to help some of the local nursing homes and some of the local support centres with that level of PPE. Even it may be we do a lot of industrial cleaning in our facility as part of our process. Giving them access to the products that we use has helped in some cases, because they're finding it difficult to try and get even stuff like hand cleaners and hand sanitizers, which we do have. So that level of support is what we're happy that we can do. Also, we've got personal donations, as part of our company. People are making personal donations to try and support their local communities as part of that.
And it's very interesting to listen and read some of the newspapers and stuff from the workers in the care homes and the nursing homes and even the HSC. It doesn't really matter whether you give them one glove or 5,000 gloves. And there's a sense of people care enough to take some time or whatever that might be and just think of them and give. And it'd be lovely to think that even if 10% of that spirit or 15% or 5% of that spirit transcends across to whatever the new norm is going to be past this new norm, that's going to be a nice thing to think about it.
Absolutely. And I think in that it's trying to make a difference where we can, and trying to ensure that for us, where we are in an environment where we're working, and we're very, very busy from an operational perspective, but also reflecting that there are others that are not within the community, and trying to help where we possibly can. And it is only small, but try to help move this forward as best we can, so we can try and get over this big challenge that we're all facing, and one that hopefully we never see again.
It's been fun. I've learned more probably about you in the last 12 to 13 minutes than maybe I have in the 3 years we've worked at Hosts in Ireland. But firstly, thank you so much as always. As one of the founding partners of Hosts in Ireland, I've always found Commscope, the ethos of the company is to give to the greater collective. I mean, that's what Hosts in Ireland's about. Is that it's hard, isn't it, to say, I got that out of this involvement, but it's the bigger side. So thank you as always for Commscope and your support. The second thing is, if there was 3 words, just 3 words that you could say about where we are or where we're going, what would that be?
Well, I've actually wrote them down here, and hopefully you can see them.
Together.
The 3 that I do feel that together we'll succeed. I think we have a great community. I think there's a great level of energy behind what we're trying to do, and people want to do the right thing. And so, for me, together we'll succeed.
But Adrian, I don't think that there's any better way to end it than that. Thank you for your time. Enjoy your walks. Teach your kids about picnics. And we might even get a bit of Shawadi Wadi music going the next time I'm on with you.
Oh, I love Shawadi Wadi. Thanks, Garry.
Thank you.
Thanks for your time. Stay safe.
Bye-bye.